Hi everyone, this is Wendy. Welcome. So excited that you're here today. I can't wait to show you this simple Easter bag that I have made. It holds one of those cute little chocolate Easter bunnies, and I found them packaged at the grocery store, and I grabbed a few of them and made a few bags. So I'm actually showing you two different size bags today, and we're going to jump in and get started right away. I actually sped up the video a little bit because it was a little long, so if it seems like I'm moving at warp speed, it's because I sped the video up a little bit. So we're using a Good Day stamp set, and you can see there's my little chocolate that I'm going to put inside the bag. This stamp set is so cute. Here's the little bags we're gonna make. So there's two of them, two different sizes, and they're so simple. Really simple little bags. And at the top, all I've done is punched a couple holes and tied some ribbon through them, but you wouldn't even have to do that. You could fold it over, you could staple it, lots of different ways you could close it. So we're gonna start out with bag 1, and this is cut at 6 inches by 5.5. And on the 5.5 inch side, you are going to score the paper at a 1/2 inch. And right there, I used the wrong blade and cut it, but I'll show you how I fix it. Then I'm flipping it all the way around and scoring at 2 inches, and again at 3 inches. No, wait, I'm sorry. Okay, I scored at a 1/2 inch, then I'm scoring at 2.5 inches, then I'm scoring at 3 inches, and then at 5. So what happened when I was doing this is I had written my measurements down wrong on my paper. So when I went to score it and just follow the measurements, I did it incorrectly. So this creates the folds of the bag, and then you have to score along the bottom at a 1/2 inch. So now I'm gonna fold on all the score lines, and real quick, I just used a piece of Post-it note paper right there or tape to fix where I accidentally cut through the bag. So that's the only bad thing about or it's not even a bad thing, it's just something you have to be aware of with the Stampin' Trimmer. It has the blade and the scoring blade on there at the same time, so if you're not careful, you'll end up cutting where you're supposed to score. And then at the bottom, I'm just trimming up to that bottom score line. I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape adhesive and place it along the side there, and then one more piece on the inside of one of the bigger flaps. I'll remove the release paper, and I'm going to fold this over and close up the bag on this side, and then remove release paper here, tuck in all the other pieces, and close the bag on the bottom. So a little tip for you, I try to make sure that all of my folds go, excuse me, go towards the back of the bag. So that bottom fold, I made sure it went towards the back, and then the side fold as well. I need to grab a drink real quick of my coffee so that I can keep talking. Hold on. Okay. Now I've stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black ink on this little 1 3/8 inch circle punch cutout, and then I've got a piece of Calypso Coral that I've punched out of the 1.5 inch circle punch. Goodness gracious, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm removing my dimensional backings and placing this on, and then I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals to this classic label punch with mini dimensionals, and I'm going to place it on the bottom of the deer, and then I'm going to color the deer in. Now, something to note is I will show you here in a minute all of the punches that I used to create the front decorations for all these bags. But this is a really great little tip. If you take a blender pen and a Stampin' Write marker, you can run the blender pen in the tip of the Stampin' Write marker to pick up an ink and then color with it. And you can see here I created so that my shadows were underneath the little deer and on the left side of the deer, so it looks like the sun would be coming from the right side. It's really not necessary to create a light source with an image this small and so basic, but I thought I would show you. Okay, so here's my 1.5 inch circle punch, classic label punch, 1 3/8 inch scallop punch. By the way, oh, plus that cool, I can't remember the name of that punch, but it's a cool one. And All of these items are listed in the description below the video. So if you have questions about any of the product, you can click in the description and look there, and all the links are there. Also, all the details and information are over on my blog, along with a little picture tutorial that has all the measurements for where to score and how big to cut your cardstock or your paper. Okay, so I am using the Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper, and that is in the annual catalog, and I used that for both bags. And here is the other bag I'm going to create. So this one is cut at 6 inches by 7.5, and I'm scoring along the 7.5 inch side. I started out by scoring at a 1/2 inch, flipped the paper around, and then I scored at 3.5, 4, and 7. That gives me my bag. Then I have to flip it over 90-degree angle and do a score line along the bottom of the bag at 1/2 inch. So that creates this really sweet, cute, fun little folded goodie bag. So now I'm just going to trim in on the score lines at the bottom. And one of these little tabbies I just cut off and throw away. You don't need both of them. So you can do that at either end of the bag. It doesn't matter which end you do that at. And then same thing for this bag as the other bag, but it's kind of nice to see it twice. So I'm going to put tear and tape adhesive along one end of the bag. And then at the bottom, I'm going to put one piece along the bottom that will fold over and be the back. So again, I like my seam to be at the front, or I'm sorry, my seam to be at the back of the bag. So I try to fold everything so that there's a nice smooth folded edge at the front. All right, I'm going to tuck all this in and fold it, and there we go. Voila. All right, here is the cute little decoration for this bag. I'm using this piece of punched cardstock from Wisteria Wonder cardstock. I love that color, and I don't use it enough, but it's so beautiful on this little bag. And then I have a little circle that is cut at I think this is the 1.5 inch circle, and I'm using my Memento Tuxedo black ink this time to stamp the little bunny rabbit. And instead of using the classic label punch this time, I decided that I would use the Hello Friend sentiment and stamp it right underneath the bunny. So yes, I know that this is the 1.5 inch circle punch because I tried doing this with the 1 3/8 scallop circle, but the Hello Friend would not fit at the bottom, and I wanted it to fit on the punch. So this is a little bit larger circle. I'm going to take and do the exact same technique for this bunny that I did on the deer, and just take that blender pen and rub it along the tip of my crumb cake marker, and then use that to color in my bunny. So I get this kind of light tannish grayish bunny rabbit. And then I've got my Wisteria Wonder Stampin' Right marker that I am going to use to color in the bunny's bow tie to match the little punch that I put on the back. I am adding dimensionals to the back of this, and I'm going to remove the release paper and then add it to the front of the bag. One of the things I did not do in this video is show you how to punch the top and tie the bow, because I figured that was pretty self-explanatory. Literally take a hole punch, punch a couple of spots at the top of the bag, put some ribbon through it, and tie it, and you're done. So that is my cute little treat bag. So here's what they look like when they're all finished, with that little bow at the top. And of course that ribbon is linked in the description below, so if you like that ribbon, you can buy it from me. Don't forget, I have some really awesome offers going on right now. You can get a class to go for free from me right now when you place a minimum $50 order. It's the really bright, fun little cards. And you can also, today is the last day that you can pre-order the class to go that is the bunny and the crosses, hold on to hope. All the details for that are over on my blog, so you can check them out there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a nice comment, tell me what else you would like to see in a video, and you can subscribe or watch other videos from me by clicking on either one of the videos that you see here. And thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out with me.